Alright you guys, today I'm coming at you with a very special video. We're taking a look at an iPhone 6s in rose gold running its original software version, iOS 9. Let's get into the video. The iPhone 6s launched in September 2015 with iOS 9. As you see, this was the original default wallpaper for iOS 9. One of my favorites probably of all time. This one always sticks in my head when I think of past Apple. But if we go into settings, if we go to general, about, as you'll see, we have an iPhone 6s in the beautiful rose gold. Once again, just take a look at this color. If I knew this color looked this good back in the day, I would have went with this over my 6s Plus in space gray in a second. But yeah, as far as storage goes, we do indeed have a 64 gigabyte iPhone 6s. And as you'll see, version 9.2.1, build number 13D15. Let's take a look at this gorgeous iPhone 6s. So as you see, we have a nice rose gold home button with second generation Touch ID that was introduced with this phone. Let me just show you how incredibly fast this Touch ID is. Look at that. That's the reason why in iOS 10 you have to press the home button to unlock it, because second generation Touch ID starting with the 6s just read your fingerprint too fast, so you weren't able to read your notifications or check the time or anything without the phone unlocking, due to how incredibly fast Touch ID was back in the day. If we take a look at the display, as you'll see, it's not perfect. We do have some chips and some cracks in the top right corner, as you see there, and as well in the bottom corner that stretches up to the center right side of the display. But I will be taking this iCloud locked 6s and taking the screen off it and swapping them. So my iOS 9 6s will have a nice screen without cracks. This was also the last iPhone to feature a headphone jack. Also had a lightning port in the center that debuted with the iPhone 5. And this was also the last iPhone to only have one loudspeaker. With the iPhone 7, we got stereo speakers. One in the earpiece up top and the one down at the bottom. This was also the last iPhone to have a physical home button. Introduced with the iPhone 7, we had the haptic home button, where it would simulate a click through vibration, but the button was not actually mechanical. This iPhone also introduced a very beloved and missed feature, 3D Touch. 3D Touch was here all the way back in 2015. So if we press hard on these icons, we get little context menus that pop up. We can do it on a lot of the apps. As you see, if we do it on camera, we get take selfie, record a video, record slow-mo, and take photo. So let's take a selfie. There we go. Look at that. 3D Touch. Man, do I miss it. I miss it so much. This phone also introduced the Haptic engine, or the Taptic engine, whatever they call it. I'm pretty sure it's the Haptic engine, but I could be wrong. That was introduced with this iPhone, and that replaced your traditional vibration motor, allowing for feedback when it comes to 3D Touch, and your phone would not buzz like crazy when you get a call. You would feel it, but other people wouldn't hear it. So if we go into settings here and we go to wallpaper and we go to choose new wallpaper, we got stills. Here is your default iOS 9 wallpapers, as well as these really cool wallpapers down here. These three were used for the iPhone 6 the year prior. But now here's where the wallpapers get crazy with the iPhone 6s. So these are live wallpapers. and you would activate them by using 3D touch. These were featured on the box art for the 6S in all the different colors. This was the one specifically for the rose gold color, and as you'll see, if we 3D touch, the wallpaper animates. As you see, as I apply more pressure and less pressure, the wallpaper reacts to my force. That's 3D touch for you, ladies and gentlemen. The iPhone 6S also gained a huge camera upgrade over the previous iPhone 6. This was the first 12 megapixel camera in an iPhone, as well as the first iPhone to be able to record 4K at 30 video. So if we go into settings, we find, I believe, camera. Yep. Photos and camera. Record video. As you'll see, our options are 720 at 30, 1080 at 30, 1080 at 60, and brand new with the 6S, 4K at 30. So let's launch the camera here. Let's take a look at some 4K video on an iPhone 6S. This does not feature any sort of optical image stabilization. Let's get a real close-up shot of this other rose gold 6S and this iPhone 4S and this horribly destroyed iPhone 7 in jet black. The 6S was also a huge upgrade for the front-facing camera, going from 1.2 megapixels on the iPhone 6 to 5 megapixels on the iPhone 6S. Big front-facing camera upgrade for the 6S. In terms of some other features of the iPhone 6S, due to having 3D touch, you could 3D touch anywhere on the keyboard and you'd be able to move your cursor. Today, you have to long press the space bar and then you can move your cursor. But here, we can do it anywhere on the keyboard, just like that. If we 3D touch on the edge of the display, that brings us multitasking. That is no longer here in any way on any modern iPhone. The 6S was also the first unofficially water-resistant iPhone. Even though they did not market it as water-resistant, this was the first iPhone to have a gasket around the display to prevent water from getting into the phone. Another thing introduced in iOS 9, I believe, was low power mode. Low power mode debuted with the 6S on iOS 9, as well as night shift also debuted on the iPhone 6S with iOS 9, but I believe it was in a later version than this is running. This is on 9.2.1. I believe night shift was introduced in 9.3, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me in the comments. But yeah, guys, so to close out the video on the iPhone 6S, we're going to set the rose gold live wallpaper as our wallpaper, and we're going to close out the video on this iPhone 6S. And yeah, guys, this was a look at the iPhone 6S running its original software, iOS 9, in 2025. Just take a look at this rose gold. It's so beautiful. I'm going to get a new display on this thing. There will be a video coming soon about how to downgrade your iPhone 6S from iOS 15 to iOS 9.2. And with that, I'll see you guys later.